Good morning and welcome to, what's today? Today is Tuesday and it's 11:45 and on the schedule that says I am going to teach D.B.T skills. And I am going to begin at the beginning and we're going to start with mindfulness. Oh, by the way, my name is Mary, for those of you who don't know. Sorry about that. I need to introduce myself, don't I? And I hope everybody is having a good day. It is sunny out. The skies are blue. The wind is blowing. It doesn't look bad. And we are having a good day. There's a lot happening at the center today, and it's kind of exciting to have people around and doing things for the center. So I am going to start off with what is my D.B.T story. And first of all, D.B.T stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. And I took D.B.T starting about 7 years ago. And I took the beginning class, the original course, 3 times over, and proceeded to be in the advanced class for over a year, for maybe a year and a half. When I first started D.B.T, it was on recommendation of a therapist from a partial day program I was in. And I called around, was able to get into a D.B.T class at the Lunar Center. It was a 6-month-long course that meets once a week, and you meet with your therapist once a week to go over the skill you're working on and how better to apply that skill to your situation, to your needs. As stated earlier, I took the basic course 3 times. That's 3 6-month commitments. The first time, I'll admit, I was very willing to give it a try and had trouble wrapping my head around some of the skills. I liked the course and would find myself referring to my book to find skills that would be effective quite frequently. Matter of fact, I still go back to my book to this day if I need help. The second and third times I took the course, things started to fall in place. It became more cohesive. It was easier to pull skills up to use. It became more automatic. In the advanced class, what you do in advanced class, you still meet with your therapist once a week and you're still doing diary cards, but it's not so much presenting each skill and then having homework as much as it is telling others how you practice that particular skill that week. So it's sharing the practical uses that you used of a skill. So that's my therapeutic story of me and D.B.T. I began facilitating D.B.T skills as a peer here at the Recovery Center around 5 years ago. I started out as a volunteer. And then I kept presenting it even as I became staff. And I enjoy presenting D.B.T skills. I believe D.B.T skills are simple. I like D.B.T skills because they take you where you're at. I like D.B.T skills because they apply to so many situations. And it's something I see a lot of use for, and I believe that by presenting these skills to you that hopefully you'll be able to use them and get the same benefit I have. So when I present a D.B.T session, I do it in the same format as my D.B.T skill session would have been for me. And what we usually start off with for a D.B.T session is a mindfulness activity. And a mindfulness activity is to help center ourselves. In today's mindfulness activity, I am going to take 3 deep breaths. And we're going to take them in through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and pursed lips. So Okay, 3 deep breaths. Thank you. I needed that. It centered me. It got rid of some of my nerves. It got rid of some of the butterflies. Um, so if you need to ground yourself, something to use is 3 deep breaths. So D.B.T, when you come to D.B.T, hopefully you come to D.B.T with acceptance of your stuff, of yourself, where you're at, and you accept where you're at, but and there's acceptance, and yet you want to change things in your life. So, acceptance and change is your first dialectic. And when you do DBT, there are 4 modules. There's mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness skills. And mindfulness is taught prior to each module. So it'd be mindfulness, distress tolerance, mindfulness, emotion regulation, mindfulness, interpersonal effectiveness skills. Because mindfulness is just such an important part of the skills. You're always applying mindfulness skills to your other skills. It's just a very important part of the whole DBT curriculum. And DBT, like I said, it is just something that I put a lot of faith in. It helps me. I am where I'm at today because of all the time I've put into practicing my DBT. So, with that said, how important mindfulness is to DBT. We will begin with mindfulness and the goals of mindfulness practice. So what are the goals of mindfulness? The goals are to reduce suffering and increase happiness. So you are reducing suffering and increasing happiness. That's why you are mindful. To reduce pain, to reduce tension and stress. And by doing those things, you're reducing your suffering and you're increasing your happiness. The second goal of mindfulness is to increase control of your mind. So you stop letting your mind be in control of you. So the second one is to increase control of your mind. You are in control of the emotion, not the emotion being in control of you. The third goal of mindfulness is to experience reality as it is. To live with your eyes wide open, to connect to the universe, to experience essential goodness, and to experience essential validity. So the third goal of mindfulness is to experience reality as it is. So those up there are 3 goals of mindfulness. Reduce suffering and increase happiness, to increase control of your mind, and to experience reality as it is.
Okay, I was just coming in to check so that you could see the chat. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Amanda. Next, we have, if we go to the next page, we have mindfulness definitions. And what exactly is mindfulness? Well, mindfulness is intentionally living with awareness in the present moment without judging or rejecting the moment, without attachment to the moment. Wow, that's a lot of words. So let's take that apart. So let's go up here, and what is mindfulness? It's intentional. Mindfulness is intentional. Intentionally living with awareness in the present moment. The importance there is that you're intentionally, you are choosing to live in the present moment. Okay? The second part of that definition is without judging or rejecting the moment. So you're noticing the consequences. You're discerning helpfulness and harmfulness, but you're letting go of evaluating, avoiding, suppressing, or blocking the present moment. You know, you're always going to, you're always going to want to know if something's harmful or helpful. That's just an important thing for you. But judgment such as good, bad, ugly, pretty, um, um, let's say somebody compliments me on, um, somebody complimented me on my tennis shoes not too long ago, but there's a hole in one of my tennis shoes, and I'm like, but they're ugly. I judged my tennis shoes. So if I'd done it without judging the moment, I would just accept the compliment. So without judging or rejecting the moment. The last part of the definition is without attachment to the moment. So the whole definition of mindfulness is intentionally living with awareness in the present moment without judging or rejecting the moment, without attachment to the moment. That means you are not ignoring the present, you're not clinging to the past or grasping for the future. You're experiencing the here and now, this moment. So that is your definition of what mindfulness actually is. Now, the next part of this page is what are mindfulness skills? And we'll be talking about mindfulness skills next week. And they are specific behaviors that, when put together, make up mindfulness. And the skills are the what skills, what to do to be mindful, and the how skills, how to be mindful. And we'll be looking at those next week. So, what is mindful practice? And yes, we do practice mindfulness, and there's different mindful practices. And mindfulness and mindfulness skills can be practiced at any time, anywhere, while doing anything. Intentionally paying attention to the moment without judging it or holding on to it is all that is needed. So, that's using a mindfulness skill, just being aware of what's going on around you. Meditation is a mindfulness practice. And meditation is practicing mindfulness and mindfulness skills while sitting, standing, or lying quietly for a predetermined period of time. When meditating, we focus the mind, for example, we focus on body sensations, emotions, thoughts, or our breath. Or we open the mind, paying attention to whatever comes into our awareness. There are many forms of meditation that differ mostly by whether you're opening the mind or focusing the mind. And if focusing, depending on what the focus of our attention is. So like focusing meditation would be mindful eating, and you're focusing on that grape or that cookie. You're focusing on it. Opening, um, opening our mind, paying attention to what comes into our awareness. What are the sounds around us? What do we feel? What do we hear? We're expanding our awareness. Another mindfulness practice is contemplative prayer, and this would be like the rosary, um, um, Christian centering prayer, Jewish Shema, Islamic Sufi practice, or Hindu Raja Yoga. And it is a spiritual mindful practice. So contemplative prayer is a form of mindfulness. And lastly, another mindfulness practice is mindfulness movement. And it has many forms. Examples include yoga, martial arts, such as Tai Chi, Aikido, and karate, spiritual dancing, horseback riding, hiking, and walking can be ways to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness movement. When I think of mindfulness movement, I think of running. There's a rhythm. There's a rhythm to your breathing, your legs, your arms. It's mindfulness movement. It all works as one unit, and a mindfulness movement. So those are different kinds of mindfulness practices. There's the skills we can use: meditation, contemplative prayer, and mindfulness movement. So, overview. What are we going to talk about with regards to mindfulness and D.B.T? Well, this week we're going to talk about wise mind and the states of mind. Next week, like I said, we'll be talking about the what skills and the how skills. What to do when practicing mindfulness, and the how skills, how you practice when practicing mindfulness. So that's the what skills and the how skills, and we'll get to those next week. So with that said, today's topic is wise mind, the states of mind. And there's 3 states of mind. Let me erase the board again. Okay, so there's 3 states of mind. And there's reasonable, emotional, and wise mind. So those are the 3 states of mind: reasonable mind, emotional mind, and wise mind. So let's go over what those actually entail. Well, reasonable mind is cool, rational, task-focused. When in reasonable mind, you're ruled by facts, reason, logic, and pragmatics. Values and feelings are not important. So when you're running on reasonable mind, you're not taking into account feelings. You're taking into account the rules. You're taking into account the logistics. You're taking into account pragmatics, which means the way things are done, the steps to get things done. But you don't bring in the mind. You would think of, when you think of reasonable mind, you would think of somebody like Dr. Spock from Star Trek. Spock never cared about emotions. Spock didn't bring in emotion. He stuck to the facts. He was cool, rational, and task focused. Um, you know, and then that's reasonable mind. Reasonable mind is kind of cold because, like it says cool, and it is cold because it's not taking into mind emotion, which tends to run high. So that's reasonable mind. Let's go over to emotion mind. Emotion mind is hot. It's mood dependent, emotion focused, and when in emotion mind, you're ruled by your moods, feelings, and urges to do or say things. Facts, reasons, and logic are not important. So when you're in emotion mind, you're not thinking about the facts. You're not thinking about impact, how something's going to impact somebody. You're not thinking about logic. Matter of fact, logic's out the window. You know, you yell, you raise your voice, you punch the wall, you just spontaneously run up and hug the person. You just, you don't. There's no thought. It's what your mood dictates. So that's emotion mind. And when you think of emotion mind, if we go back to our Star Trek, you would think of Bones, the doctor. Bones was ruled by his emotions. He was very emotional about when he would make his case to Captain Kirk. And so we got Spock and we got Bones. And the next state of mind is wise mind. And wise mind is the wisdom within each person. Wise mind is seeing the value of both reason and emotion, bringing left brain and right brain together. It's the middle path. So in wise mind, you're bringing emotion mind, you're bringing reasonable mind, and you're combining it. You're considering both the emotion, the feeling, and you're examining the facts, the task, and you're making a decision from there. You're choosing to react, make your actions from there. So that's what wise mind is. And if we go back to wise mind and we go back to Star Trek, Captain Kirk would be the wise mind because he would take into account what Bones had said, his very emotional companion. Then he would take into account what Spock said, his very logical companion, and come up with wise mind. Now, wise mind is wisdom. Wise mind, um, is going to use values and a lot of times with wise mind, the decision we make, it'll be the correct decision, but it won't necessarily be the easiest decision. So, a lot of times with emotion mind, it will be the easy decision, but it's not always the correct decision. It's easy to punch the wall, but it wasn't the best decision. Versus wise mind, you calm yourself down, you take those 3 deep breaths, and you proceed mindfully through the emotion. So those are the 3 states of mind. Do I have any questions about that from anybody? Okay. Next is ideas for practicing wise mind. And for the ideas for practicing wise mind, the book has 8 different practices, and most of them are guided meditations or breathing exercises. Um, I'm going to give you my favorite wise mind practice first. And this is the one when I first began D.B.T. that I used. Did I understand what wise mind was completely? No. But I knew that if I used this breathing technique and repeating wise mind over and over to myself, it should click. So for this practicing wise mind activity, you breathe in wise. So inhale wise, exhale mind. Inhale wise, exhale mind. Inhale wise, exhale mind. And so when you're doing your 3 deep breaths, wise mind, wise mind. And like I said, even if the more you say that to yourself, the more you're going to put the idea of wise mind in your head, and it will be a concept that hopefully will become more natural for you to understand. Another idea for practicing wise mind, that's a breathing um, technique, is dropping into the pauses between inhaling and exhaling. So breathing in, notice the pause after inhaling, the top of the breath. Breathing out, notice the pause after exhaling, the bottom of the breath. At each pause, let yourself fall into the center space within the pause. So you breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. And the pause is natural. You don't necessarily have to say pause to yourself. Breathing in, feel the pause. Breathe out, feel the pause. And at each pause, let yourself fall into the center space within each pause. And that one's just very relaxing. I like the rhythm of it. And it's a good way to become more mindful of what's going on around you. Another one is a guided meditation, short meditation for practicing wise mind. Is called Stoneflake on the Lake. And I will go over this one with you. Imagine that you are by a clear blue lake on a beautiful sunny day. Then imagine you are a small flake of stone, flat and light. Imagine you've been tossed out into the lake and are now gently, slowly floating through the calm, clear blue water to the lake's smooth, sandy bottom. Notice what you see when you feel as you float down, perhaps in slow circles, floating toward the bottom. As you reach the bottom of the lake, settle your attention there within yourself. Notice the serenity of the lake. Become aware of the calmness and quiet deep within. As you reach the center of yourself, settle your attention there. So that's a guided meditation that you can use to get you into wise mind. Once again, it's focusing on the center. Another guided meditation that I'll go over is walking down the spiral stairs. And imagine that within you is a spiral staircase, winding down to your very center. Starting at the top, walk very slowly down the staircase, going deeper and deeper within yourself. Notice the sensations. Rest by sitting on a step, or turn on the lights on the way down if you wish. Do not force yourself further than you want to go. Notice the quiet. As you reach the center of yourself, settle your attention there, perhaps in your gut or abdomen. So once again, that's another guided meditation. and it's a short one. And I wanted to share those two guided meditations with you because some people don't like Stoneflake on Lake because they don't like being surrounded by water. Some people don't like to spiral stairs because it makes them dizzy. You have to find which one works for you and which one you like. I like breathing in wise, breathing out mind. That worked for me and it still works for me. Um, Another one is asking wise mind a question. And breathing in, silently ask wise mind a question. Breathing out, listen for the answer. Listen, but don't give yourself the answer. Do not tell yourself the answer. Listen for it. Continue asking on each in-breath for some time. If no answer comes, try again another time. Um, Ask wise mind a question and focus on it for a little bit. And you got to realize sometimes there is no solution at that moment, in that you need to come back to it. So there's asking wise mind a question. There's also asking, is this wise mind? So breathing in, ask yourself, is this action wise mind? Or is this thought wise mind? Breathing out, listen for the answer. Listen, but do not give yourself the answer. Continue asking on each breath for some time. If no answer comes, then try another time. Asking, is this wise mind? You know, was I using wise mind to ask my daughter to consider having a daughter date? Or was that emotion? Um, was I wanting an emotional fix? Um, was I being needy? Um, uh, was I exhibiting borderline behavior? I had to ask, is this in wise mind? Now, granted, I actually ended up asking a peer, and they're like, Mary, ask your daughter. I'm like, okay, so I was thinking in wise mind. But, so ask wise mind. And, another one is attending to your breath coming in and out, and let your attention settle into your center. So breathing in completely, notice and follow the sensations of your breath coming in. Let your attention settle into the center at the bottom of your breath, in your solar plexus. Let your attention settle to the center of your forehead, your third eye, at the top of your breath. Keeping the attention at your center, exhale, breathing normally, maintaining attention. Settle into wise mind. So on the inhale, focus on the solar plexus. On the exhale, focus on the third eye. Can't say I use that one much. And then expanding awareness. Breathing in, focus your awareness on your center. Breathing out, stay aware of your center, but expand awareness to the space you're in now. Continue on to the moment. So you start by expanding awareness, you're breathing in. You follow the breath in the inside you and go all the way to your toes. Expanding awareness. I am sitting on a chair. The chair is supporting my weight. Expanding my awareness. There's light coming in from the windows. Expanding my awareness. I can hear noise in the hallway. So you just expand your awareness while focusing on your breathing. So those are 8 different ways to practice wise mind. And for the first week, you would go over, and then the homework for this week would have been to practice wise mind skills that we just went over, the different techniques, and trying to use them at least twice this week. So my challenge for you today is to choose 2 of the skills to the wise mind practice skills that I went over and use them for yourself to bring yourself into wise mind, to center yourself, to bring yourself to the center, to bring yourself to the moment. And that is our overview for today. So we went over the goals of what mindfulness are. And the goals of mindfulness are to reduce suffering and increase happiness, increase control of your mind, and to experience reality as it is. And what is mindfulness? And important to remember, it's intentionally living with awareness in the present moment, without judging or rejecting the moment, without attachment to the moment. And the mindfulness skills are the what and how skills, and we'll be addressing those next week. What is mindfulness practice? It's using our mindfulness skills. It's meditation. It's prayer. And then there's mindful movement, running, horseback riding, hiking. And we went over the 3 states of mind, which were reasonable, wise, and emotion. And last, we went over ideas for practicing wise mind. So that's what we did today. And that was quite a bit. And like I said, my challenge to you is to go back and practice the ideas for practicing wise mind. Do the guided meditation, Stone Flake. Try the guided meditation of walking down the spiral stairs. Breathe wise in, mind out. Ask wise mind a question. Asking, is this wise mind? Attending your breath and settling into the center. Expanding awareness. And the last one, dropping into the pauses between inhaling and exhaling. So those are all different ways to practice mindfulness that we went over today. So give that a try. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation, and I look forward to next week with the what and how skills with you guys. Have a good week. See ya.